Hello, and thanks to Melissa Hudson for joining me on our Meet the Artist today. Melissa, you've got quite a range in your portfolio, as we've just been discussing, actually, from dark fantasy through historical work to sort of younger audiences. We really love your work. It'd be really interesting and great fun for our KJM White Light audiences to get to know a bit more about you and your incredible work. So I'd like to ask you some questions.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
No, it's absolutely our pleasure. As I say, we love your work. Um, how long have you been an artist for?
Since childhood, one of those things where, you pick up the crayon and in my case, I just never put it down. I think I got enough positive reinforcement and feedback where instead of giving up at some point in my tweens, I just kept at it and made it a defining characteristic of my personality. And, and now here we are. It was a slippery slope.
I'm not sure that's the way you should say it is. Slippery slope. Um, and are you surrounded by creative people from family or friends or?
No, the opposite, actually. My whole family is all a bunch of STEM majors. My mom is a biologist, and my dad is a master mechanic, and my sister
Oh,
is a theoretical astrophysicist, and then I'm the odd duck.
wow.
I don't carry a lot of weight in family debates about physics.
Yeah, but you can draw it. You can
Yes,
put
that's
into pictorial
that's
their
what I always say
ideas.
is like I have studied light very carefully.
Yeah, in all of its rainbow colors.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but actually my husband's family is extremely creative. So I'm married into a an artistic family, which has been kind of its own cool experience.
Okay. And how about your son? Has he inherited some of your talent?
A little bit, yeah. He's absolutely in love with trains. He will spend hours making me sit and watch trains go by, and he will come home and draw train crossings from memory, which just kind of blows my mind because
Wow.
he started doing that when he was about 3.5 or 4 years old. So I don't know where he's going to go with that, but it's wild to see a 4-year-old draw a train crossing with the arm and the lights and the signage and everything.
And he gets it all in perspective.
Yeah, yeah, he's super
Wow.
into it.
We should sign him up now.
Right?
Oh, that's really cool. That's nice. My son inherited some of what talent I had, um, and so I don't know if he'll ever utilize that. But and with your work, what sort of style would you say, just for everybody that hasn't seen your work yet, just what style do you specialize in, and what
Um,
software do you use to create it?
yeah, so um, I work in a couple of different styles, obviously, because growing up, one of the things I loved the most was fantasy novels, and I was really inspired by Michael Whelan. And so I wanted to do that as I grew up, and obviously that's more realistic. But I fell in love with Michael Turner's work, especially Fathom, in high school. And after that, I knew I wanted to do comics as well. So for my comic and graphic novel style, I feel like I probably take more after him. And I predominantly work in Photoshop and Clip Studio. So I like the brush quality a little better in Clip Studio. It's obviously more tailored for, making art, whereas Photoshop is more photo editing with a little bit of art, you know, added on.
Sure. I mean, I think everybody gets out of Photoshop whatever they need,
Yes, yes.
and obviously go elsewhere for other little bits and pieces. But it
Mhm.
does seem to be the all encompassing. I mean, I can
Yeah.
remember my first version of it way back, and it was just, I mean, it was mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing. From going
Yeah.
from airbrushing with an airbrush to doing the same thing digitally was just, yeah,
Oh my
bonkers.
gosh.
It was just so fantastic.
I made that same leap from traditional to digital, and it was mind blowing. The idea of like just having layers that you could work on that were independent of other layers, and and the undo
Yeah,
button is.
yeah. Change the world, didn't it?
Oh yeah. Especially as a parent with small children. There were so many times where my arm would get jostled or, somebody just had to be in my lap at that moment and being like, it's fine, I can fix it.
And Melissa, would you say your styles and approach to your art creation has changed over the years?
Yes, yes, quite a bit. Obviously making the transition from traditional to digital, which I wouldn't mind going back someday. There's something about being able to hold an actual piece of art in your hands when you're done instead of like turning off your computer and walking away.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, and becoming a parent, I think, really helped focus me more. I used to have more time for experimentation and taking chances, and now I feel like I'm quite a bit more focused, but that has helped me make a lot of headway in the directions that I've really been concentrating in. So it's a mixed bag, but I think for the best, really.
Okay, that's good. And who or what has been your sort of biggest influence, would you say?
Oh gosh. Obviously Michael Whelan and Michael Turner, but on a more personal level, I was lucky enough to be taught by some of the artists who worked on Magic the Gathering, which obviously came out before I was coming up, but I was just in time to have Mark Tadine for an art teacher at art school.
Wow.
And my first job out of college was working under Jesper Meerfors, who was the art director for Magic.
Okay.
So they were both huge influences and put me in touch with a lot of other phenomenal artists who really helped shape me and encourage me when I was first coming out of school and going out into the world.
Gosh, you've had the perfect formation then, haven't you?
Yeah, I feel very lucky. They were
Uh,
very kind to an art student just coming up into the world who really did not know what she was doing.
no, no, but I think we were all there at one
Yeah,
point. Some of the people that taught me were huge influences, and they were huge artists at the time doing amazing things, and that really shaped me. So it probably has the same sort of seminal effect on most people if you're lucky enough to experience it. Um,
yeah.
and where would you say you find your inspiration?
Oh gosh. From what I see other artists doing all the time, I buy a lot of comics and graphic novels, so I'm always following what other creators are doing. I love Isola. I'm waiting for the next issue to come out because I'm such a huge fan of Carl's art. Um, Marcosia has had some wonderful books come out. I really enjoyed their Caravaggio.
Okay.
They had a wonderful Beowulf that came out too. So
Wow. Okay. Yeah, those sort of things are hugely influential, aren't they?
yeah, yeah, just seeing what other people in your sphere are doing and being inspired by the wonderful visual storytelling that some creators are capable of and the way that they plot their pages and their panels are just, oh, it's fabulous.
Wonderful. And do you have a favorite time of the day to create? Are you a morning person or a night owl? I guess it's
Oh
difficult with kids.
yeah, yeah. I was like, I like the quiet at the end of the day after they're in bed, but I'm usually so wiped out, it's hard to get much done. It's like that's the time when I'm just like scrolling because I'm so tired. But yes, I think, uh, my youngest is about to start school, and so I'm really looking forward to having the energy and having the house to myself early in the day to just really do some of my best work, coming up here in the next year. And I'm very much excited and looking forward to having space to put myself first after focusing on little kids for so long.
Sure, sure. I can get that. Um, and can you tell us what you think are your top three pieces or a favorite piece of art that you've done?
Oh gosh. I think I'm always biased towards the things I most recently finished, like the most recently done thing is the best thing.
Ah, yeah.
So I was really happy with how Gold Slingers came out, the cover art for issue number 2, and I can't wait to see it in print. They haven't come out with a publication date yet, but
Okay.
I can hardly wait to share it with my little boy. Yeah,
Okay.
oh, I finished the first issue of Shadow of the Dragon Star with Ian from Marcosia, and I felt like that was one of my stronger books as well. So,
Okay. My personal favorite, I'm not sure why, but as I was saying, your stuff's now loaded onto the new KJA site, which isn't officially open for everybody to see. but it's Witchfire. There's something about the pose of
Oh, thank you.
the woman drowning, kind of terrible
Yeah,
subject, is just spectacular. It's just beautifully observed, the
thank
form.
you.
Really
Thank you.
love that. Um, so, and I guess be good to know how you carry on developing
Mhm.
your skills, and you keep current. Again, I guess from looking at what everybody else has done or doing. But
Yeah.
is there anything you do particularly?
A lot of studies, you do figure studies and light studies and a lot of sketching when I can manage it. So I think those things, that constant practice of better, it's such a wonky thing to be caught up in, but lately I've been really struggling with how the light hits the brow of the nose. And so if you looked in my sketchbook, you'd see a lot of very strange studies of just like this patch right here.
Okay, you're just fixated with it.
Yes, yes. And like I'm gonna nail that this year. That's
Okay,
yeah.
that's really funny. That's quite bizarre.
Yes, I know, I know.
It's cute as well. It's cute as well. It's just
Well, thank you.
you want to find perfection.
Yes, yes. It's weird how you can get caught up on these little things, but I realized that it was one of those areas that felt very ambiguous to me. And I was like, I need to figure this out. And not just in one light setting, but in all the light settings. So yeah.
Okay, so attention to detail. That
Yes.
yeah. And so, what's your interest in NFTs, and what was the driving force behind you getting involved with white light NFT?
I don't know a whole lot about it yet. I will be honest and say that I saw Art Germ, Stanley Lau talking about it, and I was like, well, I mean, that man knows his stuff. That's recommendation enough for me.
Okay. Well, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for opening up and letting us into your slightly fantastical world.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, as I
It's
say,
a pleasure.
no, it's a pleasure to talk to you, and I will speak to you very soon. Take care.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. You too.